Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Wakfu, the last special, the last prequel of the season 3. Obviously, this is not going to be the last thing I do before reacting to season 3 of Wakfu. There are several other stuff that I need to check, and yes, I'm gonna do that later on. I think it's still the Gold Thread OVA. I don't know if it has anything to do with this one or it's completely different. So yes, I am still not sure what is going to happen with all the specials. Of course, I'm gonna be reacting to all of those, but with in time, of course. Anyway, before entering into the reaction video, the reaction portion of the video, I need to clarify some stuff. Some of you have been wondering why I am not uploading the entire reaction to BitChute. And there are several reasons for that, at least a couple of them. The first one is because most of the time the thing I cut off is stuff that I am being boring in said reaction, in said moments. It's just me watching the screen. It's nothing dynamic, nothing else to really be seen. So yeah, that's why I try to cut all of that, because yeah, even those portions bore me. And I don't mean the watching of the video, but my own reaction, my own expression in said moments are boring, very boring. That's why I decided to cut all of that. So yeah, that is one of the reasons as to why I still cut the stuff in BitChute, even though it is not necessary. Because yeah, you can put all that in BitChute and there won't be any problem there. But obviously, I consider it boring and I don't want to bore you guys. Honestly, that's why I do it. The other reason is time. If you watch the first special, it's obviously 45 minutes. But my own reaction and of course commentary, it's an hour long, longer than a freaking hour. So yeah, that is the other reason. The amount of time I place in each video. I don't want to bore you with hour long. Yeah, that was pushing it. That portion of the special was pushing it an hour, man. So yes, that's why I tend to cut it, because yes, I said okay, they are going to be bored. They are going to be they are not want to watch me speak for an hour or something along those lines. So yeah, those are the two main reasons as to why I cut the reaction BitChute. And yeah, I know it's not necessary, but personally, and this is something really personal to me, is I don't want to get you the boring parts, and I don't want to bore you with 2 hours, 3 hours long videos, and it's going to take a lot of time to upload. Hell, that video, the first special, the Dofus special, it took me almost the whole day to upload. And VTube is very special to upload. You cannot use, or at least from what I uploaded, you cannot use the internet for anything. You cannot look up pictures, you cannot look at videos. No, you can do anything, absolutely anything, while you are uploading the video. So yeah, there are all those reasons as to why I do, that I cut the video, because yes, it's way too long. I consider it boring in some parts, so yeah, it's not very interesting to see me just being looking at the screen. That is what I consider something really personal, and of course, the amount of time that it takes to upload, yeah, it's a very long process. So yeah, those are the major reasons as to why I decided to cut the episode in some portions. Hell, even my commentary, I end up cutting some part of the commentary that I deem too repetitive. So yeah, that's why I choose to do that way. So yeah, I hope that I clarify why I do the things I do, because yeah, it's important for you to know. And yes, I know I haven't answered this question in your commentaries, because I sometimes forgot. I just see the commentaries and I completely forgot about them until a week later. I said, oh man, I forgot about that. So yeah, I better do this way. I know you're going to see this part, so yeah, that's the reason. Another thing, I have been again with commentaries, I have been receiving information in my cell phone, the notification of commentaries, that some of you can watch the episode in BitChute. But later on, when I try to find really the way, or telling them, oh, this is this way and that way, they disappear. I don't find them anymore in the video commentaries and not in the spam. I check the spam, perhaps YouTube consider it spam. I do not, but anyway. But it's not even there. I don't know what is the deal with that. I don't know why you get notification from a certain person that cannot watch the episode in BitChute. And then later on it disappears. I don't know if this is intentional or not. I don't know what the hell is wrong with it in that moment. But for those who still have problems with BitChute, what I recommend is to disable for the video the ad block, because that is apparently blocking the entire video of BitChute. Obviously, I do not put commercials in my videos. I do not cut them and place I don't know, toothpaste advertising or something like that. No, I do not. I don't do that. Okay. So yeah, you're not going to be watching any commercials, any ads in my freaking videos. Perhaps YouTube automatically does that. I hope not, because I really don't get anything and just getting commercials because of that. So yeah, it will be very, very douchey, but I will not be surprised if YouTube does that. But anyway, yeah. So for those who are having problems with the BitChute updates or BitChute uploads, just pause the ad block. I'm not saying to just completely disconnect it. No, just pause it, watch the video, hopefully enjoy the video, and then put it back again. So yeah. That's why I recommend. That's what has been working for some of you that really told me, oh, no, sorry, it was just my ad block. So yeah, that's why I recommend in case you're still having problems with the BitChute uploads. So yeah, I think I spoke enough about, well, everything else except the freaking special. So yeah, let's just cut all of this and just stop talking and watch the video, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time, and yes, honestly, I watched it several times. Not only another one. The last special, the Dofus special, the Elliot Troop Dofus special. It is spectacular, and it's kind of closing several plot devices that we saw in previous episodes, but it's actually opening another one for the third season. Because yes. I already knew this because thanks to your comment, of course, thanks to your comments, I already knew that this was the prequel of the third season. It's kind of season 2.5. It is still, it has a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff going on in these few episodes. Yes, the episode lasts 45 minutes, 46 minutes, around that time. And again, I guess during the original transmission in the French television, it lasted like an hour with commercials and all that. But it's pretty spectacular. What we saw in these specials were pretty spectacular. I think the animation is kind of equal to the last few episodes of season 2, but perhaps even better. But perhaps it's even better because they have a lot more time to craft their skills in the animation program that they use. And I think it's Adobe. I think they're using Adobe or a similar program to that. So yes, it was a very spectacular fight. This was the most spectacular fight of the three. The first one is of course a setup, and we have a very powerful villain for the first OVA, which was the Count. He was way too powerful, and Hugo of course was against a very powerful enemy, a Shalor with kind of a ice power. Thanks to all the friends, and they could defeat him. In the second one, it was kind of a different type of fight. I don't think it was a life or death situation, but it was mostly trying to hide the Eliatrop Dofus, so nobody could use them, including Hugo. So yes, it was kind of a very different type of dynamic in a fight that we saw in the second OVA, in the second special. In this one, it was a lot more dangerous for everybody, for the people that were involved in the fight directly, in this case Pompon and Hugo, and for the rest of the world that it was just witnessing this, and even the part of the world that didn't have any idea of what was going on in those few hours, minutes. I don't know how much time it really passed in the show, of course, in show time. So yeah, there was a lot more into this battle than what was happening in the first one. Therefore, the fight was the central point of the episode. It was the major point of the episode. And yes, we're going to have this spectacular fight against one of the most powerful beings in this world, thanks to obviously the I think it's primordial Dofus. I think those were the ones that the ogress ate. So yes, that's why he was so overwhelmingly powerful. But still, again, the moments before the fight, because yes, the fight is the central point, but the moments before the fight were also important because we saw more character development, more character from everybody. That yes, all of them are trying to say, okay, yes, we need to protect the Eliatrop Dofus. We need to protect them, and we must keep them apart from each other because yes, it's very dangerous to have them together. It makes sense, and of course, who's better to guard these Dofus than the Brotherhood of Tofu? That includes an Eliatrop and other powerful beings. But of course, one of them is given to a dragon, in this case, Adamite, and he is the one that said, no, we must never use them together. I don't think he wanted even Yugo to use them, all of them, even though he was kind of in the right, or he has more reason to use them, but that's another business. We have this character development from Adamite, especially in those few scenes. We have character development for Adamite. But before going to that point, I love what they did with Evangeline and what is shown in this portion of the episode. Yes, it's a kind of calm moment in the episode, but yes, and I mean kind of calm because it wasn't a lot of action going on, but there was a lot of drama there because yes, Evangeline loves Pom, and it's been shown that since season 1 and season 2, especially season 2, because we saw all the different aspects of their relationship between Pom and Evangeline. And this is another aspect of said relationship, that yes, she loves him so much. She just wants to help Pom, because yes, even though he is the Yop god, he is the resurrection of the Yop god, he is still in danger. Thanks to the other Dofus, the primordial Dofus. So yeah, she's desperately trying to gain help for Pom. The problem here is that, of course, one of the problems here is that Adamite doesn't want to use the power of the Eliatrop Dofus against the ogre, because he has the other 6 Dofus, the primordial Dofus, and if they collide, they could destroy the entire world of 12, because it's too much power within those. I don't know if I should call them objects, artifacts. What I'm certain of that. I'm not certain of that. So yeah, that's why it's kind of weird for me to be speaking about those. And of course, it makes sense for them to destroy the world because of the amount of power that these two groups of objects, let's say, have. But of course, Evangeline is desperate because she knows that the possibility of losing Pom is very, very real. Even though he is a god, even though he is one of the most powerful beings in this world, and that is my guess again, because yes, he is literally one of the main gods, I think. So yes, this is still a very high possibility that yes, this god could die. Because perhaps he doesn't have the full control of his powers, or something or another, or because Pom faced one of the most powerful beings in this world. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Perhaps I'm jumping the gun once again. But yeah, there is that danger for that. Well, this is important because again, we're seeing what anybody could feel in that moment, because she's desperate. She's desperate to get help from her loved one. So yeah, it's completely understandable. But again, the reason that the rest of the people gave were logical. Yes, we can send help. We can send the 6 Dofus, the Electro Dofus, to fight and help Pompo. But you're changing, let's say like this, you're changing the life of one person, even if that person is a god, for the rest of the world. So yeah, I understand the logic of the rest. Of course I want them to go running towards that fight and help Pom Pom to fight. But yeah, it's understandable. And hell, the other reason that was given, the reason that Ruel gave, is very logical too. What could they do to help Pom Pom? The rest, I mean. We're speaking of god level powers. That is an immense amount of power. So yeah, Ruel, even though he's one of the most powerful beings, one of the most powerful members of the Brotherhood of Tofu, is very powerful, and we have seen that Ruel is really seriously powerful. He won't be able to do absolutely anything against the Ogress, and to be trying to stay in the same level that Pom Pom had in that moment. So yeah, I understand the reasoning behind the refusal to help. The only one who is kind of capable of helping in this case is Yugo, and of course with the help of the Eliatrop Dofus. But Adama is refusing to release the one he is in charge of. And of course we saw this kind of moment in which we're seeing little bits of the fight between Pom Pom and between the Ogress. And yes, it's very powerful imagery we are seeing here, especially because we're seeing through the eyes of the daughter of one of the children of Pom Pom. What she must be thinking, what is her idea, what is going on with her. Of course, she can do that because she inherited part of the powers of Pom Pom. Because yes, she's, I don't know if I should call her like this, but if we're seeing in the aspect of Greek mythology and all of that, yeah, this girl is a demigod. Because yes, she is the daughter of a god. A resurrected god in this case, just as Gultan was in the past kind of a demigod, but of course he gained the power of his father, which is okay. Yeah, I went that in the last video, but yes, it is kind of intriguing and it is very convoluted in a certain point. But yes, she's seeing this fight, and we're seeing little bits of the fight. But of course, this is kind of a taste. That's it. Okay, yes, this is a spectacular fight that is happening. Wait for a while because we need to expose a lot more stuff. And that's what they did. They gave us the conflict between Adamai and Yugo, the two brothers that are fighting. Yes, Yugo wants to use the Dofus so he can help Pom Pom, but Adamai is refusing the use of the Dofus because yes, this could destroy the entire world. And yes, he's kind of right. He's kind of right that yes, this could destroy the entire world. And that's why he's refusing, and nobody can change his mind. So Yugo and Adamai fought, and this was a real fight this time. It wasn't like when they first met that they have this kind of fight, but it was more of a game between each other, that yes, they're having fun and all of that. They really didn't want to damage each other, but in this case, yes, they don't want to damage each other, but they are willing to do that because they need the Dofus. Both. For different reasons. One, to protect them, that to be never used, and they want to use it to save his friend, because he has felt what is to lose a friend, because he has felt it, really, literally, he thought he was dead. So yes, it is a desperate fight. That is the word I was looking. It was a desperate fight. And the culmination of set 5, it wasn't even a huge punch, it wasn't a spectacular one. No. It is a more dramatic one. In this case, I just, if you touch that Dofus, we are done. Don't look for me after this, because I'm not going to listen to you. So yeah, in this case is very dramatic, and it's a setup for what is going to happen at the end of the episode. So yeah, Hugo said, okay, I don't care. He grabs the eggs and he goes away. It's of course not that I don't care. It's more of a, okay, I need to be strong because yes, this is something that my friend needs. And I promise I will bring him back alive. And he goes away with the egg. This is a very strong feeling that you have in that moment. That yes, these are two brothers that love each other, even though they just knew each other for like what, 6, 7 years, 8 years perhaps, pushing that. But it's still the love that each other have for each other. It's palpable, it's noticeable, and yes, it is obvious that they love each other, but they have principles, and they knew that they cannot abandon said principles. Both are very strong-willed characters, so yeah, it makes sense of this collision. It is not a perfect relationship, it is fine. It is fine to not have a perfect relationship with your brother or your sister, whatever. It makes sense for that to happen. So yeah, it is a very strong conflict that we're seeing in the fight between Adamai and Hugo. And I don't mean in the spectacular way, because it wasn't a spectacular fight. It was very crude, very dramatic, but it wasn't spectacular. For a spectacular fight, we're going to see the next one. Because yes, the preparation that yes, everybody gave up, kind of gave up, their Dofus, the protected Dofus, which was just a question of minutes, honestly. They just protect them for minutes. And they let Hugo use them. And he didn't know how to use it. But once the 6 were together, and once the 6, my guess is they perceived that they were needed by one of their own, they start to form this amazing power. And what I assume, this is what I assume of course, is that the past lives of Hugo appear in front of him. There weren't much. So yeah, that is my guess. This long lifespan, and of course they are not many past lives to speak about, let's say. But yeah, I love this moment in which we saw all the past life of Hugo, and he's very, very spectacular. Oh my god, it looks so freaking cool to see the past lives of Hugo. And of course he kind of controlled the power of the Wakfu, of this immense power, and he just went away with the speed of lightning, man. Alongside with Otomai, of course, because he's the only one who can reason with the ogre, because yes, it is the dad of the ogress. They arrive at the fight, and again, we're seeing now the pure fight between the ogress and Pompon. And again, we're seeing a fight of god level power. Good lord, it was outstanding. I love every single second of that fight. It was amazing. And I think even the ogress was kind of enjoying the fight. From what I saw in the second and in the third viewing. And yes, it was kind of enjoying that fight. I don't know, I seriously don't know what to think of it, what to see of it, because yes, I wanted to see more of that fight. And even when you arrive, and the control of the Wakfu that he showed, that he can create a lot more portals, and he can do a lot more damage, let's say, thanks to obviously the Dofus. Again, this spectacular fight is so welcome, because I was missing something as good as this one, and yes, it delivered. Oh, it was just glorious, man. Really seriously glorious. But anyway, yeah, they fought. They really saw what they were against. And they start to doubt. And the only reason they keep fighting is because what they need to do is take away Dofus, the primordial Dofus, from the stomach or from the inside of the body of the ogres. And that was the job for Automite. And he did. He jumped right inside the mouth of this gigantic monster. But the fight still kept going. That's when you will realize that they were putting a lot more danger in the world by fighting in this place. Because yes, the amount of damage that it was just in this island was unbelievable, amazingly unbelievable. So what Hugo did, he just raised the entire freaking island into the freaking space. Man, I wasn't expecting that, but it was just so spectacular, amazingly spectacular. Yeah, the fight continued, but unfortunately another creature appears. My guess are those are dragons. I don't know if they're primordial dragons or another type of dragons. I have no idea what those creatures were. I assume they were dragons thanks to the title of the episode. So yes, it is kind of weird to see all of this. But these creatures are obscenely strong too. So yeah, now we have 6 dragons and the ogres. And it's kicking everybody's ass. Hell, even in his god form, let's say. I don't know if because he can control his power or whatever. But yes, Pom Pom was defeated. Hell, he even lost his arm. Something that came out of nowhere. But really seriously, he lost his arm. And he was kind of defeated, and of course the powers of the god returned to Golter, and that's when Golter started to worry that, oh my god, this is a very strong fighter we're seeing here. And Yugo obviously is completely weakened because yeah, he used way too much Wakfu to raise this island into the space, and of course to kind of fight against the ogres. And yes, they fought, and in a very spectacular way. The damage that this was done to this island, and the damage the fight was creating, was created a cataclysm for the rest of the world, because yes, the rocks were kind of thrown into the world, and of course with the speed that they were gaining, yes, they will be able to honestly destroy part of the world. And that's what it was worrying, that yes, this was a very, very terrifying moment, because nobody else could do anything. This was literally the damage produced by a battle in god level power. So yeah, it was spectacular, and those were minor damages. The first, let's call it meteorites that arrived into the world of Trell, were kind of small. And yes, the fight kept going. I'm not going to describe every single bit of the fight. I will not give it justice to the fight. So yeah, that's why I'm not going to do it. The fight continued, but unfortunately, the Ogress is way too powerful, thanks to the primordial Dofus. And when he was about to give the last blow to Pom Pom and to Hugo, luckily Automite succeeded in pulling away the primordial Dofus from the Ogress, and he returned to his cute self. A very cute scene, the reunion between father and son. Unfortunately, this wasn't the end. The giant island was starting to go down to this world. And that is when the real damage came, because if that thing touched the ground, he will destroy the entire world, thanks to the size of that thing and of course the speed that he was falling. Thankfully, the solution was found, and to go that, okay, send it to the Rusho world. You will create a portal to the Rusho world so he can be sent to that place, and it was done. Yugo was pushing himself very, very hard to create this gigantic portal, not to another, to the same plane, to the same dimension, but to another completely different dimension. So yeah, that must pull a lot of power from him and from the eggs, but he was able to do it. He opened the portal, he failed of course because of the amount of power he used, but thankfully again Golter saved all of them, including the Ogress, Automite, Pom Pom, and of course Hugo, and they land in the desert from the tomb of the master Golter was placed, of course. We saw the dragons that really are never aggressive against the Ogress, and they became the guardians of the primordial Dofus. A very valuable stuff. not just in money, because yes, some people are just going to sell that stuff, but in power. A lot of power there. So yes, it was very, very spectacular. Anyway, we saw, of course, all of this, that they arrive fine at the kingdom of Sarida, and everybody's kind of celebrated. Yes, of course, Pompon reject the powers of the Yob god. He doesn't want them anymore. So now the new Yob god is still Goltar. I don't know if in the future Pompon is going to return to the position of the Yob god, or Goltar is going to be the permanent new Yob god or whatever. So yeah, that is an intriguing moment. But of course, we saw how Evangeline was so scared that yes, she was hugging Pompon alongside with their kids. The kids are more relaxed because, oh yes, they saw the spectacular fight and they knew their daddy was going to be fine. Of course, Evangeline was more worried because yeah, she knows the consequences of all this. She understands better the consequences of all this. She was happy once she has Pompon in her arms, and everybody was happy. Well, almost everybody was happy. We end up this special with, of course, the wedding between Pompon and Evangeline. A very romantic moment, a very satisfying moment, but of course it was full of cameos. We saw, or at least I remember, we saw Justice, Night Justice, we saw the Baker, we saw Chris Lacrasse alongside with the masked footballer, without the mask, of course. We saw, oh god, the guy that was protecting the pool, I don't remember his name, and his wife, and yes, we saw some of the cameos, and it was a very cute moment, very happy moment. Unfortunately, that wasn't the end. We saw, of course, that Lady Echo and Adamite were together, and they joined forces because now Adamite is part of this brotherhood or sisterhood, whatever you want to call it, that are trying to protect the world of 12. So I guess we're going to see a collision between the Brotherhood of Tofu and this new brotherhood that tries to protect the world. Oh boy, that is going to make so much drama for the third season. I cannot wait for that. But yeah, it was a very spectacular episode. The fights were amazingly well done. They were visceral, they were dramatic, they were spectacular, and they make you feel the tension of the characters. Because yes, in this case you don't know, well, perhaps you kind of knew because yes, there is a third season, but still, the intentions of the fights were spectacular and were... I don't know how else to praise these fights that were so well choreographed, so well done, and so dramatic. Because yes, I'm gonna make a silly comparison. The Guardians of the Galaxy 2, we have a fight between Eagle, I think it was, and of course Star-Lord, in this case Peter Quill. They both have the power of a god, kind of the power of a god, and that's something that really disappointed me in that movie. That you can have the possibility of two godlike creatures fighting each other, and what you do, you make one of the... I'm sorry, if you enjoyed really the Guardians of the Galaxy, that's fine, but personally I hated that freaking fight, and that kind of ruined the movie for me. You make one of the goofiest and silliest fight, and yes, perhaps that is the tone of the franchise of the Guardians of the Galaxy, that is goofy and that is not being taken seriously. But again, you have the possibility of gave us a godlike fight of godlike creatures, and you do something as stupid as making a bunch of pop culture reference in that fight. I hated that fight with all my freaking soul. I was so disappointed in that fight. Seriously, it kind of ruined the movie for me. Personally, for me, I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I enjoyed the first one. The second one, I really didn't like it. And mostly thanks to that freaking fight. And you have these godlike creatures in Wakfu fighting. And yes, it has goofy moments in the fight. But it's taking itself seriously enough for you to enjoy it. For the spectacular fight, for the amazing fight. but not serious enough for you to not have some goofy moment. Because again, yes, we saw goofy moments in this fight, but it was amazing. This is how you should have done a fight. And yes, I'm sorry, but I enjoyed this fight a ton times more than the stupid fight from Guardians of the Galaxy. I know this is going to earn some dislikes, but I don't care. That is my personal opinion. I swear, I hate that fight in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And I love this one. I seriously love this fight. And again, I know I sounded like a scratch record, but the character development in these few episodes were amazing, because we have Adamai that, yes, he doesn't always share the same opinion of Hugo, even though he's his brother, or should be more or less in the same level. But I love that yes, they are going to disagree. They can become enemies in a certain point. They can do different stuff for different reasons because of their principles. So yes, I approve of this character development for Adamai and for Hugo. And this kind of a split because, yes, again, it creates a lot more drama, which is good for the series. But anyway, I think I exhausted the topic of this episode. I hope you enjoyed this commentary and this reaction, and of course, be in the lookout for new episodes of Wakfu. And yes, once again, thank you so much for the subtitles of this spectacular and amazing HD quality video, because yes, I would have completely been lost without such subtitles. So yeah, thank you so much for Manapir. Remember to visit the videos and to see them in very high quality before you do take them down, of course. But yeah, again, thank you so much for this gift to the channel. Again, I hope you enjoy it, and well, see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and yes, thank you so much for your attention, guys. And as always, if you want to leave a comment, that will help me a lot more. If you want to give me a like, that will help me even more to get on the top of the recommendation for YouTube. And if you want to share this video, that will help me even more. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.